Good afternoon and welcome back to the DeVos Fieldhouse, Robert DeYoung Court on the campus of Hope College for Game 2 of a Hope College volleyball doubleheader. For those of you who joined us earlier, you saw the Flying Dutch fight mightily but came up well short against the University of Northwestern Eagles. The Dutch are 1-1 on their host tournament, defeating Clarkson last night, and now their final opponent, the Otterbein Cardinals, also a nationally ranked team. They come in with a record of 10-2. The opening weekend, they defeated Ohio Wesleyan and Alma in straight sets. They beat Carnegie Mellon in 5, and then the College of Worcester 3-1. They had a midweek game against Denison, where they won in 5. The next weekend, they traveled to Westerville, Ohio, and picked up victories against Thiel and Earlham, and then followed up on Saturday with games and victories against Birmingham Southern and Defiance, traveling from Westerville, Ohio to Bexley, Ohio. And then they lost in straight sets to the Wittenberg Tigers. That's the one common opponent of Otterbein and Hope. Then last night they took a set off of Calvin University, but ended up losing 3-1. And then won a really exciting, at least for the parts I saw, we were over here getting prepped, 5-setter against the Elmhurst Blue Jays. So they are 1-1 on the tournament. Hope is 1-1 on the tournament. And one of these teams will go home with a winning record this weekend. One will go home with a losing record. And as I had said earlier, really terrific volleyball. If you are in the area, we still have another hour and a half or maybe even a little longer of Hope Volleyball if you would like to join us. The Cardinals come in being led on defense. Being led on offense. Let me grab my right tab here. Being led on offense by Morgan Hartman. She averages 3.9 points per set. She's a junior outside from Lancaster, Ohio. On defense, they are led up front by Madison McCoy. McCoy, a junior middle from Worcester. And then on defense, they're led in the back by Bridget Oder. Oder, a senior defensive specialist from Mount Gilead, Ohio. Hope is led in blocks by Charlotte Breck. On defense in the back row by Olivia Fiebing. And then on offense by sophomore Annie Lockett. Otterbein will serve first. Carly Craycraft, the senior setter from Marion, Ohio, will serve first. The first shot, cross-court cutter by Charlotte Breck. And Hope gets the first point of the set. Breck will come out. DeWeerd will come in. And although I can't see it, that probably means Olivia Fiebing is, since she's the only one I can't see, will be the one serving. There's a right side attack by Amber Greeley, a right side attack, the senior from Lima, Ohio, and we are tied at 1. The serve back for Otterbein is Kennedy Hoffman. Hope has a hard time handling it, so they're going to just have to send it over. A right side attack again by Otterbein and again by Amber Greeley. So the first 2 points, the first 2 kills go to Greeley. Hope not putting up much of a block on those 2 right side attacks. 2-1, Otterbein leads. Lauren Lee's going to back set it to DeWeert. Outside push along the line, and it's a point for Morgan Hartman. 3-1, Otterbein in the lead. Hope just came off that emotionally and physically exhausting match, even though it went 3 sets. It was close most of the way, and they battled from behind almost all of the way. We'll see how much gas they have left in the tank, as they only got a 30-minute break. Otterbein played earlier in the year. There's Allison DeWeerd finding the back of the court for a kill from the middle, and it's 3-2 Otterbein. Middle attack, dug up by Hope, but they aren't able to complete the play. Power coming from Aubrey Geis, a sophomore middle, all the way from Clearwater, Florida, showing a lot of juice on that one, and it's 4-2 Otterbein. Here's Oder, the back row player. I'm sorry, the libero. Here's Lauren Lee. Allison DeWeert comes from the middle. She has it blocked, but it sneaks down in between as Madison McCoy got her hand up but couldn't penetrate far enough. Point for DeWeert, point for Hope. Otterbein leads 4-3. Right side attack. And that is blocked by Hope as Brooke Fox and Allison DeWeert team up for a double block. Correction. With my obstructed view and not great depth perception, that ball did not get back over on the Otterbein side. That indeed is a point for Otterbein. They leave 5-3. It looked like a great block, but it snuck in on the Hope side of the bench, or on the Hope side of the net. Here's an attack attempt by Fox. That goes wide from the outside, and Otterbein leads 6-3. Hope has not led much at all today. Lauren Lee has to chase it down, a one-handed bump set outside, and that one is blocked but not covered as Morgan Hartman fires a rocket between two of the Hope blockers, and it is 7-3 Otterbein. Lauren Lee is going to go right side down the post. She's dug. Otterbein's going to go outside. Morgan Hartman just fires it, but she kind of threw it, and the up official felt the same way as she brought it just sat in her hand a little too long. Hope gets the point on the attack error, and it is 7-4, and a service ace by Hope as O'Dare cannot track it down. And it is 5-7 Otterbein. Back set goes to the right side hitter. Hope handles it. McCoy with the attempt. Otterbein's going to get another attempt, but they're just going to have to free ball it over. Post to Lee. Outside to Fox. Dug up by O'Dare, but it can't cover it as it comes too close to the net. And that's a point for Hope. And Hope has cut the lead to 7-6. Middle set. Nice play by Otterbein. Madison McCoy with a quick hitter. And Otterbein gets the point and the serve back. They lead 8-6. For those of you who don't have multiple screens up, you might not know that Hope is trailing Mount St. Joseph 18 or 19-14. I'm looking at a screen way over on the other side of the broadcast booth. It's 19. Mr. Steve Secor, my executive producer and all multi-talented man with better eyesight than I do. 6-9 Otterbein. Hartman will serve. Middle of the court. Lee goes back set. Timing wasn't there, so Breck pushes it over. Back row attack by Hartman. Dug up by Hope. Back row attack by Lockett on the roll. Dug by Otterbein. Outside again. And there's a rocket by Kennedy Hoffman, the sophomore from Trinity Lutheran High School in Seymour, Indiana. And Otterbein has a 4-point lead. Calvin defeated Otterbein 3-1 last night. misplayed by Hope, as Hope is not able to serve receive on that one, and the Otterbein lead is 5. Otterbein comes in with only 2 losses to 2 very, very good teams. Number 16, Wittenberg, who came in last weekend to Holland, Michigan, and all they did was defeat Hope and Calvin within a 24-hour period to catapult themselves from a fairly deep honorable mention note in the AVCA all the way up to number 16 in this week's poll. 7-11 is the score, and it is good. The line judge called it out. The up judge calls it good. The up official gets 2 votes, and so Hope picks up a point. 11-8. And another ace by Hope. Emma Post serving from deep in the court. So deep, she's hard to see when she does it. I can't see from my spot. I think you can pick her up on the camera as she approaches anyway. There's an outside attack by Otterbein, and they will get it back. Kennedy Hoffman. The score is 12-9, and McCoy will serve for Otterbein. Lockett, Lee, Fox, dug by Otterbein, close to the net, pushed over by the Cardinals. Fox with another chance. That one's dug. They're going to go middle, but just a little miscommunication between the setter and the potential hitter, Aubrey Geis. Hope picks up a point. They cut the lead to 2. The Hope crowd looking desperately for some opportunities to lead in this match, as they did not have a lot against the University of Northwestern. Had a chance to talk to the very successful and very gracious coach from the University of Northwestern, Beth Wilmette, between our match with them and our match with Otterbein. She was humble in victory as she was loading up her team after a 3-0 undefeated journey into West Michigan. There's a point by Hope, and that makes it 11-13. I have a feeling we'll see much more of the University of Northwestern in the NCAA National Tournament. Odds-on favorite to win their MCAC conference tournament. Nice back set. Great play by the Cardinals. That attack is from Amber Greeley, and they pick up a point, and Otterbein extends its lead to 14-11. Amanda Troyer will serve for the Cardinals, sophomore from Berlin, Ohio. DeWeert has her attempt dug back up. Lauren Lee with a second contact attack. Puts it over with the left hand, trying to fire her team up. They trail 12-14. She will go back and serve. Midway through set 1, Otterbein with a 2-point lead. The libero has to take second contact. And that's no problem for Morgan Hartman, who finds a way to go from left to right and puts it short on the court with a nice hard cut. And she picks up a point for Otterbein. Here's O'Dare. Serves to her libero mate on the other side of the court. As Annie Lockett comes from the right side in that serve-receive rotation, she picks up the point on a nice little off-speed spin shot. Hope cuts the lead to 2, and Lockett will serve. She's a very effective server, getting the signal from assistant coach Carrie Lahaki. Serves to the 5 spot. Dug up by Hope, outside by Fox. She's blocked, but Hope covers. Back row attack by Lockett is dug by O'Dare. And the outside attack by Hartman falls to the ground, and Otterbein picks up another point. They lead 16-13. Serving now for Otterbein will be Emily Skelly, Urbana, Ohio native. Emma Post picks up a right side attack. She picks up a kill, a point, and Hope trails 16-14. First kill by Emma Post of the match. Outside to Fox. She fires one, and it's out of the reach of the libero, and it is 15-16. Hope has closed it to 1. It's the second kill by Fox, and that ball goes way long on the serve, and Hope will give up the serve. Otterbein will pick up the point and the ball, leading 17-15. First service error by Hope. Right side, Emma Post. Dug by Hartman. Attack in the middle by Charlotte Breck. And it touched an Otterbein player, and then they couldn't track it down, and Hope cuts the lead to 1. Well, we were hoping Coach Becky Schmidt would get her 500th last time. A lot of the alumni I know have shown up hoping to celebrate with her on her 500th career victory. Lauren Lee attacks on the second contact. Now she goes outside to Fox, and it's played by Hartman. I think it was going to go out, but it might have been touched, so smart play. Hope's going to have to send it over on a push. Outside. That one is touched at the net. That's going to be a point for Otterbein. Kennedy Hoffman gets it to deflect off the net, off the block, and Otterbein leads by 2. Lauren Lee outside. Fox blocked and dug. Second contact attack by the setter. And another second contact attack. And it lands on the white line. Lauren Lee, it looked like a miscommunication with the hitter, but Lauren knew exactly what she was doing. And she put it right on the sideline, about 5 feet out past the net. Kill for Lee, and it's 17-18. Otterbein in the lead. And a service ace by Hope ties the game at 18. Nobody could get a full hand on it. Grace Marshall with the ace. Another tough serve by Grace. Otterbein tracks it down. The middle pushes it over, and we have a net violation against Hope. And Otterbein will get the point, the lead, and the serve, 19-18. Tough serve by Otterbein. I believe that was Craycraft. And an attack by Lockett from the outside. Ties it at 19. Craycraft with a set to a back row Hartman attack. Played by Hope. Lockett punches it over. Back set for the right side attack by Greeley, handled by Hope. Hope's attack is handled by Otterbein. Here's Lockett, and she picks up the point. Hit too hard for O'Dare to bring it up, and Hope has its first lead of the match, and I believe the only lead they had other than 20-19. No, I take that back. They led most of set 2, but then were unable to convert. So they have this lead now. Otterbein is going to take its first timeout. Hope with a 1-point lead, and we will be stepping aside, and we'll be back with the rest of set 1. Hope with the lead, 2019 in set 1 over the Otterbein Cardinals. They have the serve. Right side attack. Outside attack by Otterbein is handled. And Annie Lockett puts a little roll shot deep in the corner, and it hits the white line of the back end line, and Hope with a 21-19 lead. Grace Marshall is serving. And not a pretty play by either team, but Otterbein is able to get it over after it hits off the net tape. Amanda Greeley will get credit for the kill, but Hope just wasn't able to cover. They weren't ready for the ball to quickly change directions like that. Hope's lead is cut to 1, and Amanda Troyer will come in to serve. What a play by Allison DeWeert. The set wasn't quite as high as she was planning on. She lowered her arm a little bit and put a spin on it instead of power, and she found the deep left corner, 22-20 Hope. Outside attack pushed by Hartman. Lee will go to Lockett. Outside is Hartman. Blocked by DeWeert, but chased down by Otterbein. Hartman will try again, this time with a little more of an off speed. Middle tip by DeWeert. Here's Hartman again. Down the line, dug by Lee. Right side Emma Post. Outside Hartman. And she's blocked. Whoa, wait a minute. What's the call? No, it slipped in on the other side. From where we are, it looked like it was sent back. And Otterbein picks up the point, 22-21. And they serve. Here's O'Dare. And she serves an ace, and we're tied at 22. Hope has relinquished the lead. Otterbein with the serve and a chance to go ahead for the first time since early in the game. Fiebing, Lee, back set to Lockett, who gives Hope the lead back. The outside hitter coming from the right side in that serve-receive rotation, she gives Hope a 23-22 lead. And there's a right side attack by Amber Greeley to tie the game at 23-all. That was a power shot by Greeley, and Hope did not have the defense up to handle it. Serve receive is dug out of the net by Lee. Outside by Hartman. Hartman wants it back. It's going to instead be freed over. Back row attack by Lockett. And just a little deep. Annie Lockett, very crafty when she changes speeds and finds positions. But that time, She was forced to go deeper than she wanted to. The ball went out. Otterbein with set point. Hope is going to take its first time out of the set. We will step aside and be back with the final points of set one. Otterbein serving at set point. Fox with the attack is Doug. Hartman is blocked, but Hartman's going to get another chance. She wants that ball. I think they're going to give it to her a third time. And this time she rolls it over. Fox picks up the first contact. Middle attack this time. And it's still alive, but just too big of a scramble for Hope. Fiebing could not get a solid contact on it as she had to chase it down. And that means Otterbein is going to advance with a first set victory. I don't remember the last time. We need Alan Babbitt here. Where is he when you need him? That Hope has lost 4 consecutive sets, but that's exactly what's happened here this morning as they have run into very, very good opponents. They trail 1-0. We will step aside and bring you the action from set 2 in 2 minutes. Otterbein has just handed Hope College its fourth straight set defeat, 25-23. Leading all scorers for Hope in that first set was Annie Lockett. Then Breck and DeWeert and Fox all with 3. Balanced attack by Otterbein. Greeley with 6, Hartman with 5, Hoffman with 4. First point of the second set, Hope to serve. Lockett is blocked, but Hope covers. And Hope then covers on an Amanda Greeley pushback. She tried to stuff it back on the overpass. Hope ends up with the upper hand on that, and they lead 1-0. Quick turn of events at the net for the first point in set 2. Outside attack by Hoffman, dug by Hope. Back set to Greeley from the right side, and she picks up the point as she slips it past the blockers. Good angle by Amanda Greeley. Tied at 1. Emma Post to Lee, back set. Charlotte Breck is dug by Craycraft. And an attack on the outside by Hartman goes between two Hope players, and Otterbein has a 2-1 lead. Greeley from the right side, picked up by Fiebing. Outside, tipped by Lockett. Hartman is blocked, but I think that's going to be 4 contacts as the ball just hit the net tape, and we are tied at 2-all. Fiebing will serve. Serve to the back middle. Hartman is blocked, covered by Otterbein. They are very quick to give it right back to her after she's blocked. And Lauren Lee tries to do a second contact attack with her left hand, but the ball was headed over, so that meant there was a net violation as she reached just a little too far, and Otterbein has a 3-2 lead. Post with the serve receive. DeWeert has a power shot that's dug. And another net violation by Hope, and Otterbein has a 4-2 lead. Served at post again, outside to Lockett. And she goes up high and is able to get it over the hand of the outstretched libero, O'Dare, and Hope gets it back, trailing 4-3. Lauren Lee, tough serve to the back of the court. Greeley, her tip is covered. Emma Post finds a spot as she gets it past Carly Craycraft. Emma Post been playing really good volleyball lately, although was shut down, as were most of the Dutch, by Northwestern in the earlier match today. We're tied at 4. Hartman, she's blocked, and they're able to cover it, but I think it's 4 contacts. I think originally Amber Greeley thought she was maybe called for a double. She looked up and thought that was a pretty clean play, and it was, but it was the 4th contact as the ball ricocheted around at the net. Tough serve by Hope, forcing Otterbein to free ball it. In the middle, it's Allison DeWeert. It's dug once, but it's too tight to the net, and Hope has a 6-4 lead. That might be the biggest lead Hope's had in this match. They led a lot. They led most of the way in set 2, and a service ace by Hope makes it 7-4. Lauren Lee continues her tough serving. They led most of the way in set 2 against Northwestern, and Northwestern clawed its way back to an extra point victory. Greeley keeps it on the right side, goes down the right line, gets it on the right side of the blocker, and picks up a point at 7-5 Hope. Feebing on the serve receive. Right side to Lockett, played by Otterbein. Hartman seems like she's always in that outside position, and she manages to bounce it off the block and pick up the kill. That is her, see if the stats have been reset, her 7th kill of the night, leading all hitters. Overpass by Hope. Otterbein will get a chance. They're going to go this time on the right side on a zip play, but it's just out on the tip from the middle, and that makes it 8-6 Hope. Brooke Fox coming in the front row. Grace Marshall will come out. Lockett with a tough serve. Hartman still able to get something on it. Back row attack by Lockett is a roll shot that ends up just short. Point for Otterbein, and it's 8-6. Emma Post from the right side. Her play is dug. And nice tip play by Otterbein. They pick up the point, and it is 8-7. DeWeert and Post and Fox in the front row right now for Hope. Lauren Lee, the setter, is in the back. And we are tied at 8. Lee goes to the middle. DeWeert has her attack dug. Push from the middle is Madison McCoy, and she finds a spot in the deep corner. And Otterbein has a 9-8 lead. Hope had led most of this set up until then. Service error by Otterbein is going to give the ball back to Hope, tied at 9. Charlotte Breck into the lineup. Feebing is out, and DeWeert will serve from the left side of the court. And the two teams exchange service errors. 10-9 Otterbein in the lead. I believe, Mr. Secor, that Mount St. Joseph may have scored again. What do you see over there? 26-14. Point goes to Hope. We are tied at 10. Both teams, both the football team and the volleyball team, needing to stage comebacks here. And an attack from the middle slips between the blockers. Aubrey Geis picks up the point, and Otterbein leads 11-10. Second kill for Geis. Feebing to Lee outside. Fox has it blocked, but Hope covers. Lockett from the back row is covered, dug up. Outside Fox trying to get it over, and it's pancaked up by Otterbein, but they can't quite get to it. Athletic play by Kennedy Hoffman, and then O'Dare, the libero, also was able to get a hand on it, but Otterbein couldn't get it up. We are tied at 11. Grace Marshall to serve. Back set to Greeley, and she finds a spot in the middle of the court right in front of Grace Marshall. Otterbein leads 12-11. Otterbein with the serve. Post with a nice serve receive. Lockett fires it, but it's dug up. Now it's Hartman, their power player. She doesn't get much on that one, though. Greeley from the right side and finds the exact same spot. Amber Greeley playing really smart volleyball. Big, tall right-hander from the right side has scored another point from that position, putting it in the same spot in the court. 8th kill for Greeley. Second only to Hartman for the Otterbein Cardinals. 13-11. Otterbein with a 2-point lead. They go outside. Lee has it blocked. Hope will get it back. I'm sorry. Lockett had it blocked, and on the next exchange, Lauren Lee is able to put it over on a second contact attack. She picks up the point, picks up the kill, and it is now Otterbein by 1. Moisture problem is solved. Fiebing will serve, down by 1. Outside to Hartman. And another net violation by Hope, and that's going to give the point to Otterbein. They lead 14-12. Marshall to Lee, tight to the net. Still able to get it to Lockett, but Otterbein's able to dig it up to give Hartman a chance. Back to Lockett. Great play in the back row by Troyer, giving Hartman another chance. Now Lockett rolls it, picked up by Troyer. Marshall picks up Hartman's. Libero with the second contact, and Hartman couldn't quite get much on it as the angle wasn't really there. She tried to push it over and hits the net. Otterbein leads by 1, 14-13. Lauren Lee, tough serve. Jump set to Greeley. She's played. Lockett has to fist it over. Middle push is handled by Hope. Middle attack is blocked by Otterbein. Back set to post. And she hits it off the block and picks up the point. Managing to get it inside of between the net and Madison McCoy, and we are tied at 14. Lauren Lee to serve. Jump serve from the right side of the court. Overpass is smashed down by Lockett. Except we had a net violation. Oh, what a heartbreaker. Annie Lockett made a great play, but got a little too ambitious and got too tight to the net. Point to Otterbein, 15-14. Because we can't hear the whistles up here, we kind of have to use our long-distance eyesight to see if we can figure out what happened. That's a point by Otterbein as it rattles between Lockett and DeWeert, and Otterbein leads by 2. Coach Becky Schmidt, she's the kind of coach who doesn't care about personal records, but I know there are a lot of people here who would love to celebrate with her on her 500th victory. And as of now, Hope's got to play. They've got to win some sets in order to make that happen. They trail 0-1 right now. Back set to post. Ripples off the net. allowing Otterbein to play it, and then Hartman with the attack, leading all scorers for Otterbein, and Otterbein now leads by 3. Hartman with 11, Greeley with 10. For Hope, it is Lockett with 6, DeWeird with 4, and Fox and Breck and Lee all with 3. Tough serve receive for Hope. Emma Post is able to get something on it. Now it's a middle attack by Otterbein, who gets it through. Madison McCoy gets around the single block. Otterbein leads by 4. And a service ace by Otterbein. Emily Skelly, a freshman from Urbana, Ohio, not to be confused with Urbana, Illinois, gives Otterbein a 5-point lead. Hope calls its first time out of this set, their largest deficit of this set, and they've got some work to do. We'll step aside and be back with the rest of set 2 on Hope Volleyball. Hope trails by 5 in set 2, trying desperately to even up this match. Otterbein playing very well right now. Annie Lockett grabs a chance to hit some power on the serve receive. Point for Hope. And the lead is cut to 4. The crowd getting restless, trying desperately to exhort the Hope team to a higher level of performance, but Otterbein has something to say to that, mostly in the arm of Morgan Hartman, who picks up another kill and keeps the Otterbein lead at 5. And there's an ace by Hartman. As she takes it from the right side to the left side, Hope watched it go by, and it paints the white line, 21-15 Otterbein. Lauren Lee goes outside to Fox, and she's dug up by Hartman, who's doing it in the back row too. Morgan Hartman playing great volleyball. Roll shot by Brooke Fox. Gets over the blocks. There's no cover. Hope with a desperately needed point. They trail 21-16 and need to make a fast and significant run here in the final points of set 2. But Otterbein has something to say about it from the right side. Serve receive. Madison McCoy makes it 22-16. Oh, it's 1 step up and 2 steps back for the Flying Dutch. Fiebing chased down by Lee. The attack by Fox is 12 feet off the net because of the set position. There is an attempt by Otterbein that's going to go out. That is Kennedy Hoffman. Hope will pick up a point, but they still trail by 5. Post with the left-handed serve down the right-hand side of the court. Hartman pushes it from the back row and manages to get it over. Lockett rolls it from the back row. And the setter pushes it on the second contact. Carly Craycraft with a kill, and it's 23-17. Hope was ready for a set. Craycraft pivoted, sent it over on the second contact. That's going to cause Hope to call a timeout. Hope trails 23-17 over Otterbein. We will be back with the final points of set 2 on Hope Volleyball. Otterbein with a commanding lead in set 2. Trying to go 2-1 on the tournament. And Aubrey Geis from the middle pushes it over on the overpass. And Otterbein has set point. Several of them, as a matter of fact. That serve is out. Hope picks up a point, and they need a bunch of uninterrupted points on the shoulder of server Grace Marshall. Outside. And Otterbein picks up set 2. Kennedy Hoffman on the serve receive. Otterbein wins convincingly 25-18. They lead 2-0. So we're going to step aside, take a 2.5-minute break, and we will be back with set 3. This is Hope Volleyball. Hope College looking to turn things around as Otterbein has handled them quite easily in the first two sets. If you're a Hope College fan and you're looking for a little good news, the Hope College football team just scored as we're looking off. Some of our athletic personnel are up here multitasking, watching both volleyball and football, and looks like the Hope football team has cut it to one score against Mount St. Joseph. The first point of this third set is a hitting error by Hope as the middle attack goes wide. Otterbein with the first point. Craycraft with a tough serve. Lockett hits it off the block and it goes out, so Hope is able to get the serve back, tied 1-1. Hope is led by Annie Lockett with 7 kills. Hartman with 12 and Greeley with 10 for Otterbein. And a tip point kill by Hoffman, who had 5 before that. That makes it her 6th kill. Smart player and gives Otterbein a 2-1 lead. The team stats do show the difference in performance. Otterbein hitting 360 to Hope's 244. Both teams have had 86 total attacks, and both teams with 7 attack errors, but Otterbein just hitting at a higher percentage. Hope with 3 block errors, Otterbein with none. Both teams with 2 service errors and both teams with 5 service aces, and Otterbein picks up another point. It's 3-1. The back row for Otterbein has been terrific. They have 46 digs compared to Hope's 33. And there's another serve-receive error for Hope. So the difference in digs and the difference in hitting percentage is the difference in the match. Otterbein with a 4-1 lead in set 3. DeWeert finds a spot in the deep left corner, and Hope stems the tide of this Otterbein mini run. They'll get the ball back, trailing 4-2. Back set goes to Greeley, who pounds it down, but Fiebing picks it up. And it goes back to DeWeert, who ricochets it off the single block. Allison DeWeert. Allison picking up her, see if the stats reset, her 8th kill. In the middle is Geis, and she rockets it down. Hope got one hand on it. They tried to chase down for second contact, but it was just hit too hard as Aubrey Geis picks up a point, and it's 5-3 Otterbein, and they serve. Nice set by Lee. Has to go all the way outside the post. The attack by Greeley is blocked, and that's a little ball slipped through the hands of the setter that time. Contact error by Otterbein. Hope picks up the point. Coach Becky Schmidt trying a little something here with Eva Hartung coming into the match, trying to find a combination that might work for them. And there's another point by Otterbein as the right side attack by Amber Greeley results in another Otterbein point. Greeley with 10 kills from the right side. A right-sider's dream to get that kind of contact. And a service ace by Otterbein. Credit that to Amanda Troyer. Nope, I take that back. Emily Skelly. Otterbein leads 7-4. There's Eva Hartung, and she is into the game and picks up a point. Trying to bring Hope a different look on offense, some different energy. And Eva Hartung has her first point of the day, hitting 1,000, 1 for 1. And Morgan Hartman, not to be confused with Eva Hartung, and she picks up another kill. Now Otterbein leads 8-5, and Hartman will go back to serve. Hartman and Hartung, Mr. Secor, they're way too close. Phonetically, I don't know. With my tired voice and dry mouth, I hope I don't mess those up. There's Hartman, and she gets another point as it hits the net tape and dribbles over. The harder you try, the luckier you get, and Otterbein has everything going for it as they lead 9-5. Even on a miss hit by Morgan Hartman, she picks up an easy point. Back set to post, and she's blocked, but Hope does cover it. Hartung sends it over outside, picked up by the back row. That's Hoffman's attack. Back row attack is Lockett. Pushed over by McCoy, and Otterbein scores again. They have doubled up the Dutch. They lead 10-5 in set 3. Coach Schmidt's going to call a timeout. We'll step aside and be back with more Hope Volleyball. Well, Mr. Secor, we cannot hear a lot up here, but we can hear when it's quiet. And it is quiet on DeYoung Court right now as thank you, my Ed McMahon sidekick, as Otterbein has really taken the wind out of the sails of this Hope College team with another point. And there just isn't any energy, as Hope has lost 5 sets in a row, and they trail 11-5, and Morgan Hartman serves middle attack. Charlotte Breck has a nice play. Still wasn't perfectly timed, but Charlotte had enough on it and had good vision of the court to be able to find a spot. Hope is going to try to climb its way out of this 5-point deficit, but they're not going to do it by sending the ball 4 feet long, and it's 12-6. Service error by Hope gives the ball back to Otterbein in the hand of Madison McCoy. From the left side of the court, sends it far right. Hartung with the first and third contacts, handled by Otterbein. Fiebing is able to get to it, but not much on it for Hope. And it's pushed over on the first contact by the setter, Carly Craycraft. She jumped up, looked like she was going to set. It was her first contact, and she pivoted. A very smart and athletic play by the senior from Marion, Ohio, gives Otterbein a 13-6 lead. Hartung rolls it. Middle attack is blocked by Hope. It's covered by Hope. Back row attack by Lockett. Back row attack by Hartman. And one of her very few mistakes of the afternoon, hitting .282 from the outside with 14 kills. She's been fed the ball 40 times in 2.5 sets. Kennedy Hoffman is blocked by Lee and Breck. 13-8, Otterbein leads. Hope has the ball back in the serve, hoping to have some success to try to cut this Cardinal lead. Here's Lee to lock it. Dug up well by Skelly. Otterbein free balls it over. Middle attack by Charlotte Breck. She beat the blocker up to the punch. She beat Kennedy Hoffman, and she picks up a point. It's 13-9. Breck with 5 kills on the afternoon, I should say. Tough serve by Hope, although Otterbein handles it, and they go to the outside, and there's Kennedy Hoffman without much resistance on the front, and it's 14-9 Otterbein. Craycraft from the right side of the court serving. Middle attack is blocked. And 4 contacts is called as Charlotte Breck was there to get up into the business of Aubrey Geis, but it was ruled 4 contacts. Good effort by Breck to make that happen. 10-14, Hope trails. Tough serve by Fiebing causes a free ball to come over. Hope with a chance from the zip play on the outside. DeWeert has it blocked, and Hope cannot cover, and it's now 15-10 Otterbein. Timing just a little off on that play, so Breck didn't get everything on it she wanted. DeWeert. And then the block was really short, and Hope just couldn't make it happen, and there's a miscommunication, and that makes it 16-10. Troyer to serve. Dribbles over the net. Hope covers it. Lockett pushes it. They're going to go outside. And there is Morgan Hartman again with a rocket that's going to force Coach Schmidt to call her final timeout. Otterbein 17, Hope 10. We'll be back. This is Hope Volleyball. Otterbein 17, Hope 10. You did not hear that incorrectly. The nationally ranked Flying Dutch are running up against the 11th ranked Otterbein Cardinals, and Otterbein is controlling the match. Hope's having a hard time even getting the serve receive over, so Otterbein's going to get another chance. Greeley from the right side. Otterbein with another chance. Hartman, this time she tips it. DeWeert is able to send it back. Tight net play goes back to Otterbein. And once again, Amber Greeley from the right side with the right hand puts it right down the right side of the line, right on the net tape. That's using the word right a lot. Stephen. 18-10. Everything is going right for Otterbein. And a tip play in the middle finds a spot where nobody is, and I think that was Aubrey Gase. And it is 19-10. The Hope players and the Hope coaching staff trying lots of things to get some momentum and some energy to knock Otterbein out of its orbit, but none of it has been successful because the Cardinals have played a nearly flawless match. They lead, and they've been getting better as the match has gone on. Free ball over to Otterbein. They'll get another chance outside. And it's Morgan Hartman again. She has dominated this match. That being her 15th kill in less than 3 sets. Tip by DeWeert. And a rare hitting error by Hartman gives Hope the ball and the point. They trail 20-11. And another service error by Hope. Unable to get much of a run going here anywhere throughout this set. And they are on the precipice of losing their 6th straight set. In the middle, Allison DeWeert sends it over. And a hitting error by Madison McCoy will give Hope a point. And the ball back, 11-12. Excuse me, 21-12. Be a good poker hand, I guess. 12 for Hope, 21 for Otterbein. We'll get it right. Everyone's getting a little beleaguered here after a long day of volleyball. Looking for something to cheer about if you're wearing orange and blue. Back row attack by Lockett. Dug up. Outside Hartman. Blocked and dug. Right side post. Ricochets it off the block, but it's still handled by Heidelberg. They control it at the middle. DeWeert wins the joust. And Lauren Lee sends it into the deep left corner on the second contact, and she picks up the kill, and it's 21-13. Lee with her 3rd kill of the match. Hope with a right side attack. Emma posts, and she finds a spot. Getting it in front of the libero O'Dare. 2 points in a row for Hope. It's been a while since that has happened, and Otterbein is going to stop it fast. Even though they have a 7-point lead, Coach Wright is going to call a timeout. It's 21-14 Otterbein. We'll be back with the rest of set 3 on Hope Volleyball. Two experienced coaches for these two teams, and Monica Wright, seeing that Hope might be getting a little mini run going, immediately called a timeout. And on the serve receive, she goes back to Amber Greeley, who powers it past everybody. And that's so much for the mini run from Hope, as Greeley will come out, and Otterbein leads 22-14. Emily Skelly will come in for her and serve from the right-hand side of the court. And Lockett from the back row hits it long, and it is 23-14. Well, it doesn't get any easier for Hope as they have to take on conference foe Albion on Tuesday at home. Albion, normally a team with which Hope compares very favorably, has had some impressive wins this year, including over Wittenberg. Albion is for real. 3 really good teams in the MIAA this year, and Hope and Albion are 2 of them, and they have to play each other in the first match of the league this Tuesday. We will have that one for you. It's scheduled to start at 6:30, so we'll hope you'll join us. Hartman squeaks it through the blocks, and Otterbein is at match point. And if you're an Otterbein Cardinal, you can think of no better way to end this than with a serve from Morgan Hartman, who has dominated this match. Outside attack by Otterbein. It's dug up by Hope. Lee goes to Hartung. She's blocked. They can't cover. The set and the match go to Otterbein, led by Morgan Hartman with 17 kills and the final serve of the match. We thank you for joining us, and we are grateful for your support. If you're a Hope College Flying Dutch fan, we couldn't bring you a whole lot of good news today, but we hope you will join us again Tuesday night at 6:30 for the opening of MIAA play against the Albion Britons. Thank you to Mr. Steve Secor, our executive producer, our camera person, our graphics person, and our mic person. He did everything to make us sound and look good. We appreciate your support again, and we will see you Tuesday night for more Hope Volleyball.